Hi everyone, welcome to the Lakeview video podcast series. I'm pleased today to be joined with Janet Nicholas with the Trails Less Traveled program in Woodlands, Texas. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So we're really interested in learning more about the nature of your program, but before we do that, I'm curious to know about your background and how you got into the field of addiction treatment.
Okay. Well, actually, I didn't want anything to do with addiction treatment. I hate school, and I tried to find the best way to get into the counseling field with the least amount of effort.
Well, there you go.
So I went to University of Houston to start taking my coursework to become an addiction counselor. And I found out that I loved it and found out that really it was a part of my own personal background. I was married to someone who ended up having an addiction and a loved one in their family who died at age 47 from addiction. So, and found out that my own family system, even though no one drank in my family of origin, that there was a lot of addictive traits. And so it just really sparked my interest, and I ended up starting to work at a psychiatric facility, a regular psychiatric facility that also had inpatient addiction treatment for adolescents and adults.
So you've been doing this for how long in the addiction field?
Since 1989.
1989. So you have this really remarkable program in Woodlands. It sounds like it's got a very strong experiential component tied to it with animal therapy.
Correct.
Can you talk to us a little bit about that program and how you were able to blend your addiction background with this?
Right. Well, and I see a lot of different patients with a lot of different issues. And I see adolescents and adults. So, and addiction is one of the things that I do. But a colleague many years ago with Sierra Tucson actually asked me to come out and see their program. That was my first exposure to equine-assisted psychotherapy. And I said, one of these days I want to do that. And so I got my horses 12, 13 years ago and got my training and then began incorporating that into my practice.
And did you grow up around horses?
I did.
Okay.
I grew up around horses as a child, and my own children were terrified of horses, so we didn't do the horse thing.
Okay.
So I really, really wanted to get back into horses someday, and then found a way for my passion of horses and just knowing how they can affect people and what amazing teachers they are, found this amazing way to incorporate that.
And so can you speak for just a quick second about the relationship between the equine process and recovery? How does that work?
Well, for instance, there's lots of different metaphors. It's very much metaphorical learning. But one of my horses actually has an addiction. He was traumatized right before I bought him. And he has an addiction, and it's an addiction that does not go away in horses.
What is it?
It's called cribbing.
Cribbing.
And it's very similar to getting a cocaine buzz. And so once horses start doing it, sometimes you'll see it in race horses, or you'll see a racehorse pace in their stall. Well, some horses will put their teeth onto things and they learn how to suck in wind. And some horses will actually die from it because they'll do it all day long instead of eating.
Wow.
Just like cocaine makes you not hungry.
Sure, yeah.
So it's very hard to break in a horse, and actually, like I said, there's no, you can't break them. There are devices that you can put on them. But that's very metaphorical, so when I have recovery groups that come out, and he will start doing that, he picks up on the energy of the group, and so sometimes he will start doing that, and people will ask, and that will spark conversation.
Good.
And then, I've done that with parent groups, parents coming out. So it's pretty amazing stuff.
And it sounds like it's a great way for people who have a hard time expressing how they feel to do it in a way that's non-threatening.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
The other thing about equine-assisted psychotherapy and learning that's so awesome about it is it's very somatic and kinesthetic. And so people will talk and bring up things that they normally wouldn't because they're out in nature, they're around this large animal, so they begin to open up, and when sometimes just sitting in the office.
Doesn't always do it.
Right.
Well, it sounds like you've got a great service and a great program. If people wanted to learn more about your services at the Trails Less Traveled, how could they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. And I did want to mention one more thing, that I also do corporate team buildings with my husband.
Oh, good.
Who's been in the corporate world for many, many years. So that's another service that we offer, is corporate team buildings.
Good to know.
But to get a hold of me, you just go to janetnicholas.com. My last name is spelled Nicholas. And for equine facilitated services, you go to trails-less-travel.com. The phone number is area code 713-882-4268.
Thank you, Janet. It's good to have you in Jacksonville.
Thank you very much.
For those of you that are interested in learning more about Lakeview Health, we invite you to visit us at lakeviewhealth.com. Or if you know someone that needs treatment right away, please visit us at 866-887-0142.